Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it. That was the most fire intro you've ever not heard. I promise you guys. It was so good. I apologize for all of you who missed it because it was so good that the speakers didn't even want to play. It was that good. That's how good it was. But hopefully some of you guys are lip readers out there. You guys already know what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about Greg. We're going to talk about injury reports. We're going to preview. We're going to talk about keys to victory. We're going to do score predictions. We're going to do it all. But gosh, that intro was so fire. The speakers blew out. I'm sorry. It happens sometimes. Sometimes I come out spitting hot gas and the speakers just blow. So apologize. But hopefully you guys can hear me now. We're good to go. And let's get this thing rocking, baby. Let's reset it. Let's reset the vibes. Dropping SDS in the chat. It's Friday. I popped my mic out before I came on. Apparently, when you plug it back in, it mutes you. But hey, all good. All good. Love to see the squad today. We got all the SDS in here. Let's go. Feels great, baby. It really does. San Francisco 49ers, we're back on track. We know what we got. Not a lot of questions anymore. We know the vibes. Shout out to all the squad. I want to make sure we get this gang in here. What's good, Jesse? And let's get right into it because we've been patiently waiting. We have been patiently waiting for the return of Greg. And if you're new to the channel, that is George Kittle. George Kittle, a.k.a. Greg, is back. We have been waiting, and my goodness, I cannot wait. The 49ers injury report, for the most part, not too bad. Daniel Brunskill, man, that hamstring, he's out yet again. He's been out since he injured that preseason week 1, August 12th. So, man, Brunskill's been out for over a month with that hamstring injury, continuing to be an issue. But we've already known Ty Davis-Price, he's going to be out with the ankle. Also, tight end Tyler Kroft, he will be out as well with the MCL. The one thing that popped up today on the injury report that is a little bit concerning is Eric Armstead did not turn in one singular practice this week. So you don't always have to practice, but what we're always looking for from players who are injured is we are looking for at minimum a limited participation on a Friday practice. That is typically at least a glimmer of hope that the player can be available. With Eric Armstead not practicing all week, I'm going to temper my expectations that he actually plays. I am going to, again, Eric Armstead's a veteran. He doesn't need to practice. He doesn't need to do that throughout the week. Of course, you want to. You want to get out there. You want to get acclimated, and you want to get prepared for the game ahead. He doesn't need to be out there, so he can theoretically still be a game time decision, suit up, and get out there. But if I had to put my thoughts on it, I'm trending towards Eric Armstead probably not going to play. Probably not going to play. But the good news is San Francisco 49ers defensive line is freaking stacked. We're going to get into it because the defensive line is absolutely going to be a key to victory against the Denver Broncos. And even with the Eric Armstead, who is out, who has a big contribution to this team, we're going to talk about the other players that should and could step up in his absence. Another guy who popped up on the injury report this week was O-line Colton McKivitz. So not too bad with the 49ers. 49ers, for for what it is, considering the injuries that we already know about, coming into the game pretty healthy, and especially with Greg back, aka George Kittle. We're gonna do a little bit more deep dive on George and his return and all that good stuff. But let's get through the Denver Broncos injury report, shall we? So the Denver Broncos injury report looks a lot larger than our injury report. There are, I believe, 10 questionable players on this report. And let's kind of work our way through it. So they have already listed Darius Phillips out with the game for the Denver Broncos. And if we keep going down the list, Cleveland, Demont, Draymond Jones, Jonathan Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, Josie Jewell, Quinn Miners, Billy Turner, Randy Gregory is full participant, but KJ Hamler, Mike Purcell, Pat Surtain, all questionable. All questionable for the game against the San Francisco 49ers. Let me get this pulled up really quickly for my own sake. So, right now, starting wise, here, there we go. Shout out Quinn Miners. Oh, you see it? Where is it? Where did it go? My boy Quinn. Shout out Quinn. Quinn was the first player interview that we ever did on our YouTube channel. After he absolutely dominated the Senior Bowl with him and his big belly. So Quinn, definitely a friend of the channel, even though he is currently the enemy this week. Definitely love Big Quinn. He's their starting right guard, so he is questionable to play. But I would imagine he'll be up. He'll be ready to go. Billy Turner, their starting right tackle, again questionable as well. So two of their starting offensive linemen, questionable. Two of their starting wide receivers, questionable. Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler. Starting defensive end, Draymond Jones, questionable. Starting linebacker, Josie Jewell, questionable. And then, of course, we all know who Patrick Surtain is, the number 1 draft pick out of Alabama. He is questionable as well. I imagine they all play. But again, I think some of you guys have seen it on there. This is also going to be a revenge game from DJ Jones and K'Wan Williams. So some familiar names on this list. Hell, even Mike Purcell. You guys remember Big Mike, former 49er? I love Mike Purcell. He's been with the Denver Broncos for quite some time. But definitely was a big fan of Purcell. Wish we kept him around a little bit longer. But some familiar faces over there with the Denver Broncos. Again, I don't know the severity of their injuries. Questionable, typically lend itself to playing. So we're gonna move forward. Oh, don't forget Compton. I did forget Compton. Tom Compton's out there with the Denver Broncos. So hey, maybe if he's already listed as out according to this depth chart that I got from the Broncos. So, yeah, there's a lot of ties between the San Francisco 49ers and the Denver Broncos front office. If you guys don't remember, Adam Peters was a gift. I don't know why John Elway did it, but Adam Peters gifted us Adam Peters, and now Adam Peters is our assistant GM, and he's been drafting these players for the San Francisco 49ers for some time. So I don't know why they did that, but thank you for doing so. We appreciate it because Adam Peters has been fantastic for the San Francisco 49ers, and being able to help build up the players that we got. Jonas Griffith, yeah, I forgot Jonas Griffith is out there. By all accounts, looks like Jonas Griffith should be able to go. So 49ers going at full speed for the most part. In regards to injuries, there's some questions for the Broncos, but we'll see how that plays out and see who actually gets out there on the field. When we start to kind of look at some of the matchups, let me see if I get this pulled up on the screen. We already know who's on the other side for the San Francisco 49ers. We've seen him. We know him well. He's got an insanely positive win record and win rate over the San Francisco 49ers when he plays them, and that's Russell Wilson. When we were talking with Jason Aponte on the state of the franchise, I think he made a phenomenal point that although Russ hasn't looked like Russ as of late, don't count out Russ. You just can't. Don't if you start to believe that Russell Wilson can't hurt the San Francisco 49ers, guess what? That's when he's going to hurt you. Because I made the mistake last year of thinking this is the year that the San Francisco 49ers sweep the Seattle Seahawks because they just had a terrible roster and Russell Wilson. Guess who swept the San Francisco 49ers? Freaking Russell Wilson. So we know Russell Wilson well. Also, too, new head coach, new staff, new quarterback. So take some time for things to gel, and that's to be expected. So the rough patches that they've had a slow start. Again, they lost to Seattle, self-inflicted wounds. You go back to the Texans game, really slow start, but pulled it out. Self-inflicted wounds there. We don't want this week to be the get right game. That's what we don't want. We don't want this week to be the get right game for the Denver Broncos on Sunday Night Football in front of the whole world to see. But we'll see how it plays out. Did you guys happen to see that one video of Russell Wilson getting the whole sideline hyped? I'm not gonna lie, man. Russell Wilson might be the corniest player in the NFL. Like, I love Russell Wilson from if I have to take my fandom out of it, I was a big fan of Russell Wilson coming out of Wisconsin in the draft, former NC State quarterback transfer. I was a big fan of Russ coming out. I'm a fan of his talent. I'm not a fan of him as a Seahawk and beating the 49ers consistently. But if I have to take an objective step back, I do like him as a player. But my gosh, he is a cornball. And it just feels like it's getting worse and worse as it's unbelievable. the whole runner pass thing, like this is a high school football team, crazy. Broncos country, let's ride. So we're gonna see if they can get it together. Don Burr in the chat, what's good, Don? What's good to the homies? Kid Drew holding it down on Twitch. We see you guys. The homie Quinn, that dude is an actor now. He's like an NPC character, man. He's just like he's like that. He's just like a video game character now. He's crazy, but hey, still got some talent in there. So we can't put him to the side. We can't pretend like Russell Wilson still isn't talented, because for all we know, Mr. Unlimited's gonna to bust out against the San Francisco 49ers once he sees that red and gold. So we got to be prepared for it still. Got to be prepared for it. Niner Gaming says, what's popping to my favorite ginger? What's good, my guy? Glad I could be your favorite ginger. That makes me happy. But we know what it is. This team is going to want to run the football. With the Denver Broncos, they have one of the better running back tandems in the league. I still think they're trying to figure out the rotation. But Javonte Williams, Melvin Gordon, they're pretty talented running backs. They get downhill in a hurry. Both of them are very physical, and they can deliver a blow. Thankfully for the San Francisco 49ers, they have a phenomenal linebacking core and a guy by the name of Talanoa Hufanga who I don't feel like they're going to let these guys break free. 49ers, I think, have one of the most sure tackling units in the NFL, which is what you're going to need. It's going to be more swarm. You're going to have to get bodies on these guys. You're going to have to bring more than one. One's probably going to hold them up. You're going to want your second and third guys to attack the ball while you're bringing them down to the ground because they are good, powerful running backs. And like Jesse's talking about, Javonte is a dual run. He's the full package. He's really good in the passing game. He's really good as a runner, very physical, really good at breaking tackles. So the 49ers are going to have to get all hats to the ball. And on top of that, get the first guy to hold them up. Everyone else coming in, go after the football. Hopefully the 49ers can get some turnovers as a result. But there is a recipe here for success. Now we look at the wide receivers, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler, all talented wide receivers. All talented wide receivers. But you look at Cortland Sutton, I'm a big fan of Cortland Sutton as well. And him coming out of, I think it was SMU, when he was coming out of the draft, he's a big-bodied wide receiver. He's going to be like your DK Metcalf, but a little bit slower. So we saw how the 49ers matched up against DK. E-Man hasn't given up a touchdown since 2020. So I feel pretty good about the way this team matches up. Jerry Jeudy, we know who Jerry Jeudy is. Very good route runner. Still kind of a suspect wide receiver. He still suffers from drops and things like that. But I think the 49ers defensive backs will be able to match up well. I think Samuel Womack, if you got KJ Hamler in the slot, I think Samuel Womack will be able to match up really well against that as whoever lines up in front of them. So they do have some talent at the skill positions. You can't forget Albert Okuwagabonwadzabama. And they used all their tight ends, man. They use all their tight ends. So they have potential, but I really do think that San Francisco 49ers defense just matches up really well. And you look at the offensive line, Garrett Bowles, not a bad left tackle, Dalton Reisner, another one of my draft crushes from back in the day, Lloyd Cushenberry out of LSU, Quinn Miners, Billy Turner. They have a decent offensive line up front. So on paper, they have some talent in the building. They have some players, but they're still trying to figure it out and they're still trying to gel. Perfect opportunity. Perfect opportunity for the San Francisco 49ers to get after them. And again, we understand what the recipe is. It's going to be the recipe all year on the line of scrimmage. On the line of scrimmage with your vaunted defensive line, Javon Kinlaw, maybe no Eric Armstead, but you're going to see a lot of Kevin Givens. Charles Omenihu was balling against Seattle. Really excited. I think Omenihu could come away with a good game here. And again, I like Quinn a lot. I know Quinn very well. I know Dalton very well. I know what their skill sets are. They're physical, power style guards. And I actually think that Omenihu and his ability to kick inside over the guard in pass rushing situations actually matches up well with Quinn and Dalton in the sense of he might be able to see some success here. You know what I'm saying? So I really like what the 49ers still offer with that defensive line. Again, we all know Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa heading in for a 3-sack game. I hope they're able to contain Russell Wilson within the pocket. I think that's one of the biggest keys for this defensive line is to just keep Russell Wilson within the pocket. Don't let him bounce out. Don't let him extend. Don't let him create because as 49er fans, we know very well what happens when Russell Wilson bounces it. Trying to talk like I'm trying to pronounce Albert's last name. We all know what happens when out. It's definitely Friday today. We all know what happens when Russell Wilson tries to bounce it outside. Nightmares for the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers, we've seen it. They've been able to lock up Russell Wilson 3 quarters, 3.5 quarters. Bounces. Dude, I can't talk today. Bounces out to the outside, and then we get him and stop him. I can't talk today. I'm so glad it's Friday. Very happy it's Friday. Very happy that we're going to get some primetime football action going on here because your boy can't talk, apparently. So, overall, I still give the nod to the San Francisco 49ers defense here with everything that they got going for them. Again, I like a lot of the players. I like a lot of the players that the Broncos have, but I'm sorry. Even without Eric Armstead, the San Francisco 49ers still match up extremely well here. And we understand the defense is going to be one that they're going to have to deal with. Remember when Bobby Boucher came back at halftime and won the Bourbon Bowl, do you? Yeah, I got Bobby Boucher vibes going right now. 100%. 100%. Let's look at the defense. Let's see how they match up with the 49ers offense. Again, a name that we know very well. Good old DJ Jones. DJ Jones, guess who DJ Jones knows very well? DJ Jones knows Aaron Banks, and he knows Jake Brendel extremely well. Again, we've talked about this previously, but when you think about DJ Jones and who he went against 3 days a week in practice all year for the San Francisco 49ers, they're going up against a scout team. Who was leading the scout team? Jake Brendel from the center position, and then Aaron Banks from the left guard position. So you're going to have some insight there from DJ Jones to be able to speak to tendencies, speak to all that good stuff. So it's going to be a big game, I think. Obviously Aaron Banks did a phenomenal job this week of kind of quieting the narrative that was generated after the week 1 performance, kind of getting everyone kind of back on track with believing in Aaron Banks and thinking Aaron Banks was going to be that guy that the 49ers hoped he would be when they drafted him in the 2nd round. Really had a good performance against the Seattle Seahawks. Not a perfect performance, but a really good performance. Well, now he's going up against a guy who knows all his tendencies. And I can speak to, as a former offensive lineman, when I played against certain defensive linemen every single day in practice, when you're going up against these guys that you know very well, they know everything that you're trying to do. They know your first step. They know how to read and key on your stances. Like but vice versa as well. Brendel and Banks know DJ Jones very well. So I'm very interested to see how they perform, but it's another opportunity for these guys to come out and have a good game. Really looking for a bounce back game from Jake Brendel. I think Jake Brendel didn't have a terrible game, but he definitely had some miscues. I want to see him clean some of that stuff up. And we're going to see how they manage. Randy Gregory, Draymond Jones. You see from Jesse say Draymond Jones is pretty dang good too. He and DJ are dangerous, and we know Randy Gregory as well. Again, he was with Dallas last year, so we faced Randy Gregory in the playoff game in Dallas. So we have some experience with him, and we're going to see how it all pans out. 49ers offensive line is still going to have a little bit of a test here, so we're going to see how they hold up. And of course, can't forget about Bradley Chubb. Mr. Chubb is really good, especially off the edge. So Randy Gregory, Bradley Chubb. It's going to be a full day in the office for Mike McGlinchey and Trent Williams. So it's going to be a good matchup up front. Excited to see who actually wins it. But you already know Niners going to win it. Linebackers, mid. I like Josie Jewell when he came out of Iowa, but still nothing crazy. Patrick Surtain obviously has big potential as a cornerback one. He's a larger cornerback. He's going to match up really well, I think, with guys like Brandon Ayuk. We'll see what that translates like onto Debo. Ronald Darby is more of kind of a guy I could see matching up with Debo, but not bad. Kareem Jackson, underrated, I think, and Caden Stearns. So the Denver Broncos are put together pretty well. I like the way that their roster's built, offensively and defensively. However, we understand what it is. The San Francisco 49ers have an opportunity to stack some really good play against this team. And if they can and they can execute and do the things that they want to do, then I don't see why this game can't turn out into a victory. So, how about this? Now that we've kind of run through and looked at the roster, see who we're going up against, what do you think the score prediction will be? So, it's score prediction time. Drop it in the chat what you think the score will be for San Francisco 49ers versus the Denver Broncos. Want to see what you guys think about this game. Is it going to be a blowout? Is it going to be a close one? Is George Kittle going to go absolutely nuclear in his first game back in reunion with Jimmy Garoppolo? Are they going to be the difference makers? Could be. Could absolutely be. Let's take a look. 24-13, 26-16, 27-16, 34-10 all day from Killa Splatta. 24-14. SDS wins, baby, from Boomerat. That's not a real score. I like where Jesse's head's at. Feels like it's going to be a one-score game. Oh, blowout. 28-10. I like this one as well. Feels like it feels just, again, can't count out Russ. On the road, at home, can't count him out. Because, yeah, can't count him out. But what the San Francisco 49ers want going for them is they want to get up early so we can get the crowd actually against their own quarterback. Like from what we've heard, what I heard is they were booing the Denver Broncos last week. So we want some more of that energy. But so far coming in 24-17, 27-20, 30-21, 24-133. Kittle should feast on those linebackers 100%. 24-14, 2017, 27-10, 24-13. There we go. That's better. Oh, blowout. 27-17. Oh, we got our first Broncos win a close one. Ooh. Moses says my prediction 49ers win 28-17. We got 27-14, 24-16. This is true. That elevation, it does matter. But I'm looking for a big Big Kittle day, just like Aaron for sure. Definitely. Russ can't cook. I'm excited for some of the memes that have a lot of potential heading into this game. This could be a very memeable game if we get it back on track. So, really, really looking forward to that for sure. For sure, for sure. So, if I had to put a score on it, I've seen it out there and I like it as well. I'm going 27-24. Again, at home for the Broncos, prime time, third game, opportunity for this team to gel a little bit more, get through some of the early adversity, figure out what they do well, what they don't do well. Um, still, still going to keep it close. I'm still going to keep it close. It feels hard as I'm saying it out loud to think that the 49ers defense is going to give up 24 points as I'm saying it. So I don't know. I might have a redirection literally live. So actually, you know what? I'm gonna go 21. I'm gonna go 21-10. I completely changed because saying it out loud, 49ers defense is gonna feast. So I changed my mind. I'm going 21-10. Changed my mind in real time. It happened. Deal with it. Deal with it. I went for 27-24, changed my mind. 21-10. Defense, feast. Nick Bosa, Charles Omenihu. I'm looking forward to it. I want to see Russ try to cook, and then I want to see E-Man clamp. I want to see Ward clamp. I want to see Talanoa Hufanga ball. I want to see Fred Warner hunt. Aziz hunt. Greenlaw hunt. It's time, baby. It's time. But in an alternate universe, it's going to be a close game as well. But I'm calling 21. I'm calling 21-10 for the culture. Defense balls. They lock down Javonte. They lock down Melvin. Running game is really hard to get going for Denver. And then you get Russ trying to force things. We get a couple turnovers on Russ. Then we get some sacks on Russ. Then the Broncos home crowd starts booing. Then you get Russell Wilson on the sideline yelling run or pass, and no one's listening to him, and they spiral. They just spiral out of control. And we need it. We need efficient Jimmy Garoppolo. Efficient Jimmy. Again, I don't need Jimmy to be frickin' Patrick Mahomes. No one does. Just be efficient, be accurate, good timing, good protection up front, allow Jimmy to see the field, and run the football. Guess who is bound to have a good game? I don't care how many times I'm going to say it and Kyle's going to slap me in the face and be like, "You know what? I don't listen to you, Brad. I don't listen to you at all. But I'm going to listen to you today. And we're going to give Jordan Mason 14 touches on the day. And we're going to have a Jeff Wilson, Jordan Mason explosions on the ground. Whew. Play action over to Kittle, 60-yard chunk, 40-yard chunk, 20-yard chunk. Run the ball, Jeff Wilson, Mason, Jeff Wilson, Mason, Jeff Wilson, play action, Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, Mason, Wilson, deal. Just deal. I want to see it. I want to see Mason get the rock. I want to see Mason. Hey, and you look at the splits last week, Jeff Wilson, and Ty Davis Price. Ty Davis Price got 14 carries in his first action in the NFL. So why not? Why not Jordan Mason? Why not give Jordan Mason 14 carries? So that's the number. Sticking to it. I think they're going to still have a pretty even share and workload for the running backs. We'll see if Marlon Mack gets any carries. I imagine he'll be elevated. So we'll see if we get any Marlon Mack showings. But again, you work that run game. You're able to get Wilson, Mason in rhythm. Offensive line continuing to do what the offensive line does, get to the second level, do those types of things, create holes for your running backs. Then we get that, like, we've heard a lot this week about the 2017 Jimmy Garoppolo. We get a mix of the 2017 Jimmy Garoppolo with like the late year 2019, late year 2021 San Francisco 49ers, like injection mold meshed together, where you get a little bit of Jimmy out there like it's the wild, wild west. And then but you're still able to have the creative ability to manipulate the defense with pre-snap motion in the run game, get them shifting over gaps, then attack the backside of which they just shifted. Want to see all that with the play action. I want to see this team cook. I do. But I want to see them cook in, like, not just in one area. I want to see healthy dose of run, healthy dose of misdirection, healthy dose of play action off of it. Wide back. I want to see, I'm feeling greedy today. I'm feeling greedy today. I want to see some good offense. We'll see if we get it. We'll see if we get it. Toa says, Brad, I know you already heard Kyle's press conference. Did Kyle really fire back at the JG comment, wanting more freedom when he played? No, Kyle deflected, I would say. I like this. Tell him, Jesse. I would say Kyle deflected, but what else is Kyle gonna do? You know, like, is Kyle really gonna say, like, yeah, we're gonna do a little bit more like 2017. We're going to go back to the. He just was like, well, I don't know what he's talking about. He pretended like he didn't know what the quote. He's like, I didn't hear it. Even though he's already talked about it today on KMBR. He talked about it again today at the press conference. It's fine. I don't expect anything less from Kyle. Kyle's not going to get into that. He'll give whatever response he can give. He's not going to entertain it. He's not going to pretend like it's a real thing. That's what Kyle does. We understand the MO of Kyle. So I'm not surprised by how Kyle responded to it, but I do like that he's kind of getting pressed on it. I do. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I do like that people are starting to look at Kyle a little bit like, how are we gonna make this Jimmy thing work? Because we don't know if it's all on Jimmy. We don't know if it's all on Jimmy. Part of it could be. Yes, he makes some interesting reads at times. He makes some questionable throws at times. But where's the player empowerment? There might be some validity there. You go back again, one of the reasons why I've always loved Mike McDaniel. I think one of the reasons why you saw Tua be able to be successful, come back from that deficit, is because he empowered his player. He gave him that opportunity, that belief. We've you go back to the Jim Harbaugh era. One of the things that made Jim Harbaugh such a great players coach is that Jim believed in his players. He believed in his quarterbacks. You guys remember every game, the whole like, bah, bah, like just beating up Alex Smith, and Alex is smiling, and like it's just like getting loose, like feeling those first hits, like that's emotional intelligence, like wrapped up in the form of coaching. It's a small thing, but the small thing that it represents is a belief in your quarterback. The belief that I'm here, right here, I got your back. Let's do this together. Now, Kyle Shanahan is a very my way or the highway type guy, right? I think we can all kind of uh take everything that we've known about Kyle and probably, put that into the conversation that I think Kyle is very rigid in that regard. And if things don't go his way, you're going to get him very upset at you. We've heard it from how he's interacted with Trey. We've heard Trey having to like kind of talk through that process of not doing it as it's expected to be executed and getting the wrath of Kyle. Like at a certain point, maybe there is some validity to letting Jimmy cook a little bit like 2017 when there wasn't an expectation of him to understand the complexities of the playbook. There wasn't an expectation of him to just be a scientist and a surgeon in regards to executing Kyle's complex scheme. When you dial it back a little bit, you can play faster, you know, and maybe that isn't to Jimmy's skill set. Then you kind of get Jimmy playing not to his skill set. You get him second guessing himself, and then his confidence goes down, and then starts making poor. And it starts, hey man. So I like that Jimmy said it. I'm not gonna lie. I like that Jimmy said it. I like that people are talking about it because I think it deserves to be talked about. And we're gonna see. You know, you're either adapting or you're not. And when you don't adapt, when you don't change, when you stay on this path and you just, regardless of the things that you believe or don't believe that are working for you or not working for you, and you're just rigid on your path, even if it was successful in the past, things catch up to you. You got to be able to adapt and change on the fly. And I would love to see Kyle dial it back a little bit. Not from a scheme perspective, from a coaching perspective. Like one of the things that I've always harped on with Kyle is I've always sensed like I don't know how, and again, it's really hard for me to say. It's a hard judgment to give and pass on as a person who's never spoken to Kyle, who's never interacted with Kyle. I can only speak from what I've seen from afar. I can only read body language and the way he interacts with players after the game or during the game and things like that. He seems like a very demanding coach. That works for some guys. It works for veterans, I would say more. We'll see. We'll see if he can fine tune it a little bit. Fine tune it a little bit. Uh, and because we hear about the doghouse, there's a doghouse for a reason. Like, let's change the narrative, Kyle. Come on, man. You got it. I believe in you, Kyle. You can do it. Relax a little bit, Kyle. Let these boys cook a little bit, Kyle. Let them cook. Jesse says everything happens for a reason. Maybe Jimmy giving 0 Fs is helping loosen up Kyle, and that will help Trey long term. I agree, because what we're looking at here is we're looking at a quarterback that he's playing with some house money right now. He's not on contract. He can't be traded. He can't be franchise tagged at the end of the year. He's going to be a free agent. And now he gets 15 games to show to the rest of the NFL that he's still a starting caliber quarterback, and he's going to be able to earn the bag again. And guess what? He knows that. He knows his time is up. He knows he's on borrowed time. He knows what he's been through. He knows what it was like to sit off to the side at practice and like run down the sideline while the rest of the team is practicing with Trey. Like, this has to be more of a collaboration. than a dictatorship. I think Kyle is more of a dictator at this point, with the way he runs his program. And I want to be very crystal clear with what I'm saying. I don't think he's a dictator in the sense of everything's got to do it my way. Like, I think he's collaborative, but I think he's rigid in the sense of what his expectations are. And I think the expectations that he heaps onto his quarterback can be daunting. And I think now he has a quarterback that isn't just going to be like, he'll talk. I feel like Jimmy's going to like keep it 100 with Kyle this year. And I think that could absolutely help Trey in the long run, kind of hopefully adjust Kyle a little bit, soften Kyle a little bit to then be able to work in a more collaborative effort with his players and the expectations when things don't go his way, because I think that would be beneficial. Because we've already seen it. The locker room clearly the locker room clearly sides with Jimmy throughout this whole situation. I think we can say the locker room side with Jimmy, which is saying a lot considering Kyle's the head coach. So they're siding with the guy that's out the door. And these are leaders of leaders, like your Trent Williams, your Kittles, your Warners, like your Alex Max. Like, we're talking about elite leaders in the NFL, and they chose Jimmy. Maybe time to kind of reevaluate your process in a sense. And again, who am I, right? But just something I've noticed, something I've taken away. And I think Kyle can still improve as a coach. I still think he can get better. I think he's a really good coach, but I think there's some improvement there that can still be had. And maybe this situation where he knows he has a quarterback that he's I love the way Steve Young talked about it. Steve Young said Kyle fired Jimmy. He fired him. He fired him when he traded up to get Trey Lance. He fired him. But now they're forced to work together. And how do they make that work? How do they come together and still push for a championship? So we're going to find out. But I do hope that there's a little bit more collaborative effort in that sense, with kind of hearing what the quarterback has to say, hearing what Jimmy thinks is beneficial for him and the team, what Jimmy does well, and maybe integrate that a little bit more, because clearly Jimmy made a point to talk about it. So, and it's always been something that I've always thought about. So we'll see. But end of rant. I am really excited about this game. The 49ers getting their weapons back again. No Trey, right? It's going to be the first week that we see the 49ers this year start without Trey. But I think there's just less questions, right? With Trey at quarterback, we are still trying to figure out what the 49ers were. What is this offense? What is this, what's the expectation? We really didn't know. Now we kind of know. Actually, in fact, we do know. And I would imagine we're going to see a lot of what we saw last year. So understanding that, I still think the 49ers are going to come out and have a really, really good performance, because they know what they have. And I think that's what a common sentiment that you've heard from a lot of the players is that with Trey's still learning, and they're still learning Trey. And there's a learning curve that's baked into there. And now that learning curve isn't there anymore. And it's now Jimmy back in the fold, and they know exactly what Jimmy is. There's no guessing. They know. And I think that can actually translate into more short-term success. Obviously, we need to get Trey back. get Trey healthy, and he's the future of this franchise. But for this year, we're going to see what Jimmy Garoppolo can do, and I think it's a good test. We're going to see him against under the lights, all prime time, the whole world watching on Sunday Night Football, and we're going to see how these two can get back on track. And those, when I say those two, I'm talking about Kyle Shanahan and Jimmy Garoppolo, because again, 6 weeks ago, I would have said you're freaking crazy if you think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to start a game. I mean, I bet one of my followers on Instagram, I still need him to hit me up because I don't remember his name, because it was in it was in one of the comments. He's like, I guarantee, it's like, it was probably February, it was probably March. I was like, guaranteed Jimmy Garoppolo's traded by OTAs. I'll bet you $50 that Jimmy's gone by OTAs. And Jimmy is now starting. Then it was, guarantee you Jimmy Garoppolo's cut by the 53 man. And then it's like, oh my gosh. Now he's back. Brad, legit question. What legit deep threat receiver did Jimmy ever have besides Marquise Goodwin? Emmanuel, I don't know if you would consider Emmanuel Sanders a deep threat. Emmanuel Sanders kind of did it all. He was really good over the middle. He's really good at stretching the field as well. He had speed. You would see Jimmy target Emmanuel Sanders with the deep bombs. You go back to that big time catch he had against the Rams. That was a kind of a deep throw. So I would say Emmanuel Sanders. I'm trying to think though. Yeah, I'd probably say E-Man, but they played on the team at the same time. So Marquise Goodwin and Emmanuel Sanders both played on that 2019 team. I don't think Dante Pettis was a deep threat. Going back 2019, 2020, didn't play that much. Yeah, probably. I would say E-Man. Because when Emmanuel Mosley, not Emmanuel Mosley, wrong E-Man. When Sanders came in, he replaced Marquise Goodwin in a hurry. Absolutely replaced. I guess it's a good point. That's actually a very good point, Cynthia. Ayuk's a deep threat. Ayuk is 100% a deep threat. That's a great point. Ayuk, yes. You're right. Ayuk. But now he's got Danny Gray. And that's the wild thing too. About like Jimmy. Jimmy had no training camp, no OTAs, didn't throw a football to Danny Gray until week 1 in practice, maybe. So like Jimmy Garoppolo's got like maybe 2 weeks of experience with Danny Gray. So we'll see how that works out. But we saw examples of Jimmy Garoppolo actually throwing outside the numbers. He threw a couple go balls to Ayuk. He threw one to Danny Gray. Remember? He threw a deep one to Danny Gray. I think Danny Gray got pushed on that particular play, but he threw one up to Danny Gray. It wasn't ultra accurate, but he gave him a shot at least. And I think that's what I kind of want to see from Jimmy. Is we know Jimmy isn't going to be the perfect thrower, and that showed up on tape against Seattle. Jimmy down the stretch was pretty inaccurate. What are the reasons? Is it timing? Is it inexperience with going through the motions, being thrown into the game. You could make all the reasonings that you want, but the fact of the matter is, down the stretch against Seattle, he had like a 5 to 6 throw sequence where he wasn't very accurate. Um, so we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see if we get a lot of last year. We're gonna see if we get the safeties dropping down in the box, daring daring Jimmy to throw outside the numbers. I hope that even if those safeties come down into the box and Jimmy still doesn't feel ultra confident with his deep ball, you still have to take the shot. You have to at least give the threat that you are going to throw it deep, because you gotta that's going to affect the running game. We've seen it. They can just stack the box in the passing game and the running game. You have to be able to get those two high safeties back, and then that will open up everything else. So, want to see it. I'm glad to see Jimmy do it in Seattle. Didn't have the best success with it, but I don't care. I'm just glad he did it. Ayuk should have. I would say Ayuk should have caught that one ball that he had that was deep outside the numbers. I thought Ayuk should have caught that one for show. For show, for show. Come on, yuck. Help your Jimmy out. For sure. We got Brazil checking in. Okay, what's good? We got Daniel checking in from Brazil. He says, here we are very confident about the win against the Broncos. Jimmy G will smash Russell Wilson. My bet is 11-5 this season and 28-10 on this game. Love the energy. Love the energy from Brazil. Big time. But again, Jimmy doesn't have to go deep all the time. I just want to see it. I want to see run Jeff Wilson, run Jordan Mason, get them biting up, run some slant games, right? Get it to Debo, get it to Juwan, get it to Kittle, get the ball to these guys over the middle. So I do bring the safeties in. So use that as part of your game plan. You know that they're already going to be doing that. So play to it. Run the football, run short, shallow routes over the middle or in the flats, pull them up, and then get a uncharacteristic play action boot, Jimmy Garoppolo locking up and throwing 40 yards down the field, getting one-on-one coverage with Brandon Ayuk, Danny Gray, Debo Samuel, hell, George Kittle, and take advantage of it. Like, for once, I would love to see that. Love to see that. Pull them in, suck in the defense into the box, and then actually attack the deep half of the field once they do that. And I think that would, even if you're not successful at it, it would at least cause the defense to pause a little bit when trying to load the box. So would love to see that. Would love to see it. Brad, they gave Mr. Noodle Arm to a Tyreek Hill, and all of a sudden he can throw it downfield with almost 500 passing yards. Come on. Can't say Jimmy G can't do the same thing with Ray Danny. I'm definitely not saying he can't do the same thing. Like I said, we saw it against Seattle. Wasn't perfect, wasn't the best, but he did it, and that's all we can ask for right now. I just want to see the opportunities, because not only with the opportunities that you can have by throwing deep, let's say Jimmy does underthrow the football, which is he does sometimes. You can give your wide receivers opportunities to fight back for the ball and get pass interference just like you had with that shot that Jimmy took to Brandon Ayuk in the end zone. Brandon Ayuk almost caught that. In fact, I think he did catch it. He one-handed it, he caught it, but the defensive back's leg hit the ball as he was falling. Now, who knows if he actually would have controlled it through the ground, but Ayuk caught that for about point 0.5 seconds, and then the DB's foot hit it out of his hand. But could he have controlled that pass if it didn't get hit? I don't know, but he controlled it in his hand for about point 0.5 seconds before it got hit out. So just got to give these guys opportunities. Got to give them opportunities for sure. So not saying he can't, just let him do it. We'll get some tight end leak, 100%. Get some juice. Would love to see it. Ooh, we got some SDS gonna be at the game. Love to see it. At this rate, I just hope Jimmy's surgery turned him into Henry Rowan Gartner. I don't again, I kinda like the dynamic here. I kinda like that Jimmy's got a chip on his shoulder. I hope he's got a chip on his shoulder. Kyle Juszczyk said that. Kyle Juszczyk said that when he went on with 95.7 the game. I think it was Damon Arado. Um, they were, drilling him with quarterback questions. Like, they talked about the kind of toxic situation, and you know, Juice was like, I would kind of like to see Jimmy get fired up, like about this, like, kind of have that just that fire in his eyes. He's like, Jimmy's such a nice guy. He just lets everything bounce off of him and all that kind of stuff. But he's like, I would love to see fiery Jimmy. I would love, after all the things that Jimmy's been through, I would love to see Jimmy kind of just be fiery. I think we all kind of want to see that. I think we know who nice guy Jimmy is. Let's see what does angry Jimmy look like? Maybe angry Jimmy has another dimension to his game. I kind of want to see it. Kind of want to see it. Speaking of chips, that Tostitos 49ers bag is fire right there. The Tostitos. Shout out moms. Moms was at the grocery store. She said, I saw this bag of Tostitos with the 49ers logo. Thought of you. I was like, all right, well, I'll throw it up on the wall. Throw it up on the wall. So I think we're all here. We want to see crazy Jimmy. We want to see like what's that freaking one meme? Let me see if I can pull it up. Oh gosh, what is it? What is it? It's oh, I know what it is. What's that one Disney movie? I think it's Disney. It's an animation movie where they goes in time. Oh, what is it? It's gonna kill me now. It's absolutely gonna kill me. I gotta do it now. It's too late. I know I got it saved on the camera roll. What's that movie where they all right, trivia time. Movie of trivia time. What's that movie? It's an animated movie. Is it Meet the Robinsons? Ooh, I think it's Meet the Robinsons. Yes. Goob. Yes. I need goob energy from Jimmy Garoppolo. That's what I freaking need right now. I need I'm gonna let me see if I get it in here. I need freaking goob energy. All right, bear with me. I promise it'll be worth it. I need straight up Jimmy to just turn into a freaking, let me see. I need straight up goob energy, man. I need that freaking, like, you did me? What? I need that, like, kind of dark twist. The bowler hat guy, 100%. I need that goob energy. That's what I need. I want to see it. I want to see Jimmy just turn into this guy, like origin story, go back in time. This is Jimmy, just like like been beaten to hell and back. I think his origin story was he wasn't paying attention and he messed up the game winning play. He's in a baseball uniform. Like he messed up the game winning play, lost the game. Sound familiar? Sound like a guy that you've heard of. Jimmy Garoppolo's gotten a lot of flack for the how some of the game he's finished have gone. Some people maybe say Jimmy is the reason why the 49ers haven't closed out some big games. So I'm saying there's some similarities here. So I want to see this Jimmy pop out. Just straight villain. Would love it. Oh, good stuff. You already know we're past an hour. So once we get past an hour, we're off the rails officially. We're definitely off the rails. But yeah, man. I'm excited for this game. I think there's a lot of opportunity here. I think there's an opportunity for a mentality kind of switch and shift for show. So definitely looking forward to it. Any last questions, comments before we get out of here on a Friday? Before we get ready for this game against Denver? Jimmy's going to turn into Syndrome. No, I'm Syndrome with my red ass hair. Coach saw it, he was like, "Get me the hell out of here." He's like, "Where am I?" We were talking about origin stories. We're talking about origin stories, like the way that Jimmy Garoppolo has to head into this season, kind of being outcast, being fired, brought back, now starting, playing in a contract year, all that kind of stuff. We need that goob energy. We need the goob energy. We need Jimmy to go from nice guy Jimmy, and we want to see kind of that mentality shift towards more of a screw you, screw everyone. I'm coming for your neck. I want to see that Jimmy. So that's why we got Goob on the screen. Oh, let's do this. We haven't done this yet. Let's do who are going to be offensive player of the game. Let's go offensive player of the game. Who do you guys got? Who's going to be offensive player of the game against the Denver Broncos on Sunday Night Football? Is it going to be this guy? It's going to be Jim? Is it going to be Debo? It's going to be Kittle? Jeff Wilson? Jeff Wilson got offensive player of the week after his performance. A lot of positive things being said about Jeff Wilson. Who's going to be the offensive player of the week? Let's see what you guys got. You guys already know. Then we'll wrap up with defensive player of the week. But first, let's get to the offense. Right off the bat, SoCal Niner says Debo. Chili says Kittle going to light it up. Kittle. Feels like a great day for Kittle to be the offensive player of the game. Debo. Jeff Wilson. I think Jeff Wilson's a good answer. Deboko. Oh, get this out of here. Get this out of here. Skit. Offense, Debo. Ooh, Jordan Mason Hive. Jimmy G getting offensive player of the game, 350 plus yards. Debo. Ooh, we're going Mason. The brand is strong. Debo. Jimmy G, surprise. Debo. Kittle. I'm gonna have to go like this for offense. I'm gonna have to go Kittle. It just with all the trash. Excuse me. With all the conversation about Debo, about George Kittle, about how like half this fan base has literally turned on George Kittle and everything he's done for this franchise because he started the year with a groin injury. I don't feel like, we got nice guy George. I'm starting to feel like George is more, he's still the people's tight end, but I really do think George is turning into that alter ego of the Joker. This dude's I think he sees everyone talking. I think he sees all the trade me stuff. I think he sees all the brittle Kittle stuff. I hope, I just hope he comes out and goes insane just so we can double middle finger every single fan of the San Francisco 49ers that has slandered George Kittle the past 2 weeks. I'm going to pull receipts. So if George Kittle comes out and has a dominating game, we're pulling receipts. I'm going back to my comment section. I'm pulling names. I'm saying, look what this fan said. We're serious. So I hope we get. I hope. Now we know Kittle can do it, but he's game plan dependent. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm going Kittle. Let's do defensive player of the game. Who do you guys believe defensive player of the game against the Denver Broncos for the San Francisco 49ers is going to be? Who's that player? I have an idea who's going to be the popular guess. I have the idea who's going to be the popular guess, but drop it in the chat. Who do you guys think is going to be the player of that game on defense against Broncos country? Let's ride. Let's see. Bosa, fair. 3 sacks. I could feel it. I need it. Hufanga, a.k.a. Hubanga. Love Hubanga. Nick Boss. We got 3 Huffs. We got 2 Bosses. Fred. Ooh, I like that. Hufunga. Warner against Russ. Okay. Ooh, Kinlaw. Hey, Kinlaw might get some extended playing time. If Eric Armstead's out. Bosa, my father. Ooh, Drake Jackson. Nice. Huff. Kinlaw. Kinlaw's getting some love. I like to see that. Huff. Ward. Tell him, coach. Huff. Ward. E-Man. Ooh, I like that one. E-Man needs some love. Fred Warner. Mooney Ward. Talanoa. Mac. Whoa, Mac. Drake Jackson coming out party. Ooh. Kinlaw. Ooh, Kinlaw. Oh, Kinlaw getting some love. Oh, we got a Greenlaw. Let's go. Womack, Gibson, more Kinlaw, Armstead, Gibson, Huff and Womack, Mooney. Mooney going off. E-Man. Ooh, love it. Hubanga. Oh, Kinlaw interception. A la New York Giants 2020 to the house. Uh I'd be feeling like Mooney is really above the rah-rah stud, above the rah-rah stuff our team thrives on. He seems self-motivated, almost like Bosa, but Mooney got a ring against us. Hey, we don't need to be reminded of that. I mean, E-Man, Aziz, Greenlaw, he had a decent game. He had a pretty good game against Seattle. I like this energy. Big sack energy. Yeah, I said it. No pause. Fred the Predator. Kinlaw. Ooh, I like this one. So Omenehu's gonna be my dark horse defensive player of the game going into this week. After last week and saw what he did to Gabe Jackson. Charles Omenihu, who I think is going to get some more run too with Eric Armstead being down. Dark horse defensive player of the game right here, Charles Omenihu. Could be. We could be so focused on Nick Bosa that Denver Broncos are shipping Nick. They're sliding protection to Nick. Charles Omenihu's getting one-on-one on the backside. He's got a mean hand swipe. Keep an eye out for the hand swipe. Boo. Hand swipe. Boo. Rip. Keep an eye out. I'm telling you. So I actually like this one a lot. He's going to be my dark horse defensive player of the game. Hufanga 2 picks. Yeah, I'd like to see that too. For sure. Oh, you're right. My mistake. It was the Rams. My mistake. That was the one where Fred absolutely demolished the offensive lineman to lead blocking. You were right. I was wrong. It was the Rams game. Stormy says, keep that same energy, bro. If Kittle gets injured again, he needs to be traded. Not in these neck of the woods, my boy. Not in these neck of the woods. Kittle is untouchable. He's going to be a forever Niner. I'm sorry. Sorry about it. Keep that man around. 2 INTs calling it now. So super excited. I'm excited about this game. That's for sure. Definitely not going into this game dreading it. I feel pretty confident. Kittle is playing this Sunday. It's one of the reasons why I do feel confident for sure. Oh, I hope, Jorge, and I love you, my boy. I love you, my Jorge, but I hope you're so wrong. Again, I love you. I love you in the chat, but I just pray that you are so wrong. And Kittle just either, again, he can win in multiple ways. A lot of people are only going to judge Kittle based on his production in the passing game. I judge Kittle on his production in the run game. So I'm always going to bring that to the table. I'm always going to bring that to the table. A lot of people don't like to talk about it. They don't like to talk about like how dominant. They actually look at how dominant he is in the run game as a detriment to him because he doesn't produce fantasy stats. So it's one of the more wilder kind of evaluations that you get from fan bases, because if he goes out and dominates in the run game and the San Francisco 49ers run all over a team and they run off his hip constantly, because he is the focal point of the run game, especially to the outside, they don't give him credit. It's actually a detriment. But I will definitely be on the lookout for Mr. Jorge Kittle. So we'll see, my boy. We will see. Kittle's like having another top offensive tackle in the run game. Facts. Ooh, it's actually not a bad call. That's not a bad call. I mean, that's a mismatch right there. You get Juwan Jennings on K'Waun Williams. That's a mismatch for sure. Ooh, Stormy says, I love Kittle, but I'm looking to keep bringing in good young players, not keeping overpriced blockers. Ooh! You can't have a dominant run game that's predicated on outside zone and not have a tight end like George Kittle that blocks the way he does. You can't have it both ways, my boy. Can't have it both ways. You can't want to see this dominating run game without George Kittle as a part of it. You just can't do it. You just can't. Like, if you want that you want that run game to work, you want the outside zone to work, you want that. Big reason why it works is because of George Kittle. Again, I could pull I got 5 clips I could load up right now of 49ers tight ends against Seattle not doing their job in the run blocking game and messing up plays. 49ers win the game against Seattle week 5 if they just have Kittle blocking. That's it. If Kittle is blocking week 5 against Arizona, San Francisco 49ers win that game. Trey's first start. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Who are our running backs for Sunday so far? It does sound like it's going to be Marlon Mack, Jeff Wilson, and Jordan Mason. Jeff Wilson's going to be the number 1. Jeff Wilson's going to be the number 1. We're gonna see what the rotation looks like behind Jeff Wilson. We'll see. I hope it's Jordan Mason, but I could totally see Marlon Mack getting some carries. So we'll see. We'll see. I will agree though to this statement. Not that I believe. I'll agree with this statement. I would love to see a higher quality tight end playing next to Kittle. I like Warner a lot. I like Dwelly a lot, but I think you could potentially upgrade the tight end 2 position and then maybe eventually transition tight end 2 into tight end 1 when it is time to move on from George Kittle, whether he retires, whether he signs elsewhere, whatever it is. So I don't disagree fully with this comment. I still think the 49ers would benefit from bringing in a young, really high traits type tight end that can block and can catch. And then you allow George Kittle to basically groom that guy, because that's what George loves doing. That he's huge into developing his tight ends. Give him a tight end to develop. Give him someone. I wouldn't be surprised if Kittle is coaching one day. Give him someone to develop. So I don't disagree with that part of it. Same with what Cynthia's saying. Like, definitely would love to see a young tight end 2 come through. Please give me Kittle blocking for Jordan Mason with the ones. Definitely. Definitely would love to see it. Can't wait to scream Kittle over the middle. Absolutely. I can't wait to scream, "Do you see that pancake block from George? Holy sh!" That's what I'm looking for. I love Kittle blocking. Kittle blocking is one of my favorite things, so I'm very biased to that. I would say both Eric Armstead and Javon Kinlaw have had really similar years to start. So I don't see how you can say Kinlaw has been invisible while Armstead is decent. They both played decent. Um, they just haven't shown up on the stat sheet. Ooh, that's nice. Isaiah Likely would have been dope. Coastal Carolina boys, stand up. All right, guys, we're getting to that point. We had a good talk today. I missed you guys yesterday. Um, but good talk today. Very much excited about this matchup, very confident about this matchup. I think the 49ers are in a good spot. Again, it's not very often that we or any fan base or any team can go into a game where they just lost their starting quarterback for the year, where they still feel really confident. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, when's late night gang? We haven't done a late night gang in a minute. We're probably gonna do late night gang after Sunday night football. So late night gang, Sunday night football for show, for show. But there's really not many opportunities where you lose your starting quarterback and you still go into that next week feeling just as confident that you're going to win the game. Some are more confident with Jimmy Garoppolo. And again, that's not a shot at Trey because the logic there is they're still trying to figure out what they were with Trey. Now you're going back to Jimmy. You know what you were with Jimmy. So you know what they're capable of doing with Jimmy. So there's still a confidence factor that you normally like. This is rare for teams. Like what the 49ers have going for them. They got a lot of heat. They got a lot of flack based on the drama and the things like that. But my goodness, when are you ever going to come across a scenario like this where you lose your starter for the year week 2 and you don't lose a beat in confidence for what you think this team can still do barring health to everyone else. So that's a good thing. That's a positive. And I think the San Francisco 49ers are going to be able to still do what they want to do. Might look a lot different. Probably not going to be seeing a whole lot of quarterback counters or power design, gap scheme concepts with, Jimmy Garoppolo out there. So we can start to kind of conceptualize what the offensive scheme is going to look like. Probably going to get back to a little bit more outside zone. Guess who can? Jeff Wilson is one of my favorite running backs in the sense of slipping contact, reading blocks, setting up blocks, getting upfield in a hurry. I don't think Jeff Wilson is the best option for outside zone. I do think that Jordan Mason is a very good option for outside zone. He's fast, he's decisive, and he gets upfield in a hurry. So, want to see Jeff Wilson work in between the tackles, any gap scheme stuff, any mid zone stuff, definitely. And I think that's perfect for Jeff. But if we start running outside zone stuff, pitch, outside of using Debo, would love to see Jordan Mason get an opportunity out there. So we'll see. Kyle doesn't listen to us. So he could very well pull another fast one on us, and it could be Marlon Mack. But we'll see. Overall, though, really excited. Again, I've said it a million times, as you know I do. Very excited about this game. I think the 49ers have an opportunity to do a lot of things on primetime. Again, people take this is a first impression for the rest of the world to see what the 49ers are. So it's a first impression for the 49ers to build some positive momentum in their direction. Considering all the drama that has occurred this year, this is a great opportunity for them to get the momentum on the right side of everyone outside this team. And that's a positive thing to take away. So I'm looking forward to it. I think the 49ers are going to win this game. And we'll see how it plays out. But also, while saying that, got to shout out all the SDS today for tuning in on a Friday. I appreciate you guys. As always, the SDS continues to be undefeated, and we will be back for more content on game day, on Sunday, all the good stuff that comes with it. And I appreciate you all, and I hope you guys have a phenomenal rest of your Friday. Be safe. Don't get into any shenanigans. If you must drink, get an Uber. We need you ready to go for game day. Don't put yourself in a bad situation that you're going to potentially regret. So I appreciate you guys all. Get off my soapbox now. Love you. I want you here. Shout out to SDS. And I'll see you guys on the other side. You have a good rest of your Friday. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it.